Sup chat, it is Thursday today. I've literally spent the morning, I went gym at like 6 a.m, had my workout, did back today, bit of cardio, then sauna, and then I've been back at the crib, just finalizing a couple samples. I sent my new design as I did, let me show you guys. This one, this is called In Bloom in Ruin, vintage t-shirt with special chemical washing and special print. Yeah, worked on that last night, completed that, sent everything. We was just talking about how quick they can get the sample done for me. They're gonna try to get it done in 7 days. So that's cool. My jackets, the back of the jacket just got sent over to me as well. So I'll show you that right now. Actually, you'll see in a previous video that Zara jacket. I sent it there. They used that as a reference piece. I think they cut it open as well, actually. But what can you do? I just wanted the measurements and I wanted the filling of the padding because that was important because I did want it to provide a bit of warmth. Originally, when I made the jacket, there was no warmth. It was just one of them like, kind of like raincoats kind of jackets. But I don't know, man. I feel like for my first jacket, at least let it provide some kind of benefit. People are gonna wear it out and about, and it's gonna keep them warm. Like, I think sometimes when you get a jacket that is like looks cool but ain't gonna keep you warm, you kind of limit on where you can wear it. And I feel like considering it's my first jacket, I wanted to provide some good kind of purpose whilst also looking good. So as you can see here, this is the back when it is cutting the pattern, and it has the I can't say the word. Is it like a plique? Sorry, you know what?
Applique.
Applique embroidery. I've said it correctly now. Applique embroidery with some distressing, and they've got that top to be on the back of the jacket with a hood. So no labeling on the front. I'm gonna save that for the pin badges. And this is gonna be on the back. So that's gonna be really cool. Hooded jacket. I'll probably try and make a different color of these, but let's see how these do first. Hooded jacket with drawstrings, that on the back, like a workwear style jacket with a bit of padding, and then also have the pants as well. So that's gonna look really cool, with a nice cropped. So yeah, I'm excited for that. But that's the back they sent me. They're almost done with production. I think this was the last thing they were actually waiting to get sorted before they kind of sewed everything together. So once that's sewed, they'll wash it again one more time. But one thing I hate about this fucking camera, bruv, the lenses clip on magnetically. Don't know if that's a word, but they're all magnets, bruv, so it comes off very easy. I don't know where it is. I literally just ordered a magnetic light that's gonna come, and now I ain't got my widescreen. So that's something else I gotta buy. Oh my god. I'm just thinking that I'll leave it in the gym. We'll run that through one more wash because I do want it to have a slight faded look. Just to give it a bit of warning style. And then the pins will come. The pins will look so cool on the front. More jackets than pants. Just because I feel like people will probably buy a jacket more. Maybe I don't know if I fucked up, but these are the type of stuff you have to test. Like, you don't really know. Like, you can go off what fucking ChatGPT will probably say, but you don't really know. And I feel like the jacket is, I don't know, man. It's just a jacket. Like, I feel like people, if they're gonna buy anything and they're gonna spend some money, they'll probably get a jacket than anything. Because the jacket will provide most of the sauce in it. Like, if you got that sauce, then you'll get both in it. Like, if you're that guy in it, you'll get both. Yeah, then let me show you this vintage tee I cooked up last night. I love graphic tees. Like, I love designing graphic tee, vintage tees. I feel like a lot of people overlook that. But what I find is, I feel like I just love expression. I like just kind of like just telling a story. I'm not a good storyteller as it is like verbally, and I think just because I used to have speech therapy when I was younger, I kind of don't have the confidence to actually be a loudspeaker and start yapping. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that's really struggled with me, like taking so long to make social media. Like, I only started social media last year. Like, I literally jumped on TikTok last year, January, 8th February. So I was making gym content. I wasn't really talking in the screen, and then I'll talk voiceover, but even still. And then I started my brand, or the old gym brand, in July. And then I did that up until January this year. And then I changed it to Lost in the Law, and I'm literally doing streetwear and learning how to design and everything. So my journey's been very quick. Like, in this 2 years, it's been very like what the fuck? I've just really pivoted my whole life. I literally feel like I've restarted my whole life, honest to God. Because there's no one really around me that kind of is in the creative industry like that. So I'm kind of just like moving everything blindly. Like, you know, I'm just figuring it out as I go along. But yeah, I had speech therapy, so talking was never really one of my strongest points. Like, I could talk, but I don't pronounce words. Like, even my friends used to banter me in school about the way I pronounce words and I think for me, I don't even know what I was talking about. So yeah, I'm not a storyteller like that, but I just love designing something with meaning. And I ain't trying to sound corny or trying to sound woke or in depth, but I feel like when I design like graphic tees, you can really tell a story about how you make it. Like, I don't design a graphic tee like slapping Lost in the Law and then I got some fancy font on it and then call it a day. Like, I can never design shit like that. Even when I try to design shit like that, a part of me is I'm having an inner conflict to saying I don't like this. Like this, I don't want to do that. Like that's not like me. Just Lost in the Law and then I got some fancy font on it with a racing car on top of it and I call it a day. If you get what I'm trying to say, like my type of designs and narratives, I have to like almost be collage style, meaning. So I get a lot of inspiration from vintage old pieces, like, you know, like the Rockstar band tees and those type of stuff. Like those for me, like even ERD and Pally Hollywood, like they are probably my biggest inspiration for brands and designing, because I just love their tees. I just love their tees and how they tell a story, and it's either cryptic, coded. It's like, what's going on here? What does it mean? This, that. It's just so enjoyable to me. Like I love just looking at that shit and be like, okay, interesting. So I think that's like my design style really is I find something that kind of relates to my brand. And this is why I say, yeah, some people don't want to design clothes like that. Honest to God, some people don't care for graphic tees and meaning in their clothes. Some people just want to make a hoodie and slap a logo on it. Some pants and slap a logo on it. And that's cool, that's fine. That's whatever. But for me personally, I like to design stuff with a meaning. Like I like my shit to be cryptic. I like you to maybe wear my top and you've worn it because what it says on it is just resonating with you that day, or you're just in some type of mood, or you're feeling down, or you're feeling ecstatic, and you see that tee and top and you just feel like this is it, this is what I want to wear today. Or I really want you to buy something I've made and I really want it to hold a certain feeling and emotion towards you, whether it's a nostalgic feeling, whether it's a feeling of just being able to relate. That is kind of like how I like to design stuff, and that's my intentions for anything I design. So I think that's why I enjoy making graphic tees. I feel like there's a lot of times when people start a brand, right? And you can outsource things in a brand. So let's say you could outsource designs. So people be like, start a brand, find a designer, you know, they will design something, and then you can, you know, but I think at that point, it ain't even a brand to me anymore. It's just a business, you know what I'm saying? And some people in it for the business, and that's fine. Yeah, that's 100% fine. But I think for me personally, I'm in it for just a creative outlet. Being able to do something that I enjoy and seeing people wear it and seeing people wear stuff, and I'm sitting there just with all these feelings and emotions about whatever, and I'm just spilling it onto a top, or I'm just feeling a fucking mood one day and I'm like, let me just put this down or some shit. Like maybe there's a period in my life where I felt something, and how does it resonate with me? What does it mean? Like, has this been an internal conflict I've had? Would someone else feel like this? And I just make it. So I think that's why it's very important when you come up with a brand name or whatever it is, have a brand name which is actually good and has a bit of depth, because it allows you to be way more creative than you think. I think when people just go for a simple brand name, let's say for example, you made a brand called No Way Out, right? That's a good name, because No Way Out can mean so many things, and you can play on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, for example, my name, Lost in the Law, I really like it a lot. It's because it has that duality. Like, there's two different spectrums of things, and I think that allows me to really be broad in whatever I'm talking about. Whether it's feeling lost and moody, or whether I'm ecstatic in the law and I'm grateful, or, for example, Lost in the Law just kind of contradicts each other, and it's like, oh, okay, I can really play on it. So whatever I design, I can bounce back and forth on different things, and I feel like it kind of makes it easier just to design a t-shirt or a hoodie, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it just makes it easier. And for someone who started their gym brand last year, I wouldn't call it a gym brand. I was just selling fucking sweatpants and vests, like whatever. Like there was nothing to it. Like, I was just literally selling like blanks, with no real direction. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just figuring it out in the way. But it took me, I think the pivoting point was when I changed my brand name. Was when I started to really like reconnect with my past and just understand the way I love fashion. Like, I love designing, and I remember I'd always used to look at designs like before I even thought about having a brand, and I'd be like, I can do better than that. I'm like, well, what's that? I can do better than that. And it was really a thing where I felt so confident in it, but I never really done anything about it. So then I was like, and obviously I'm in the middle of doing this Lorel Fits now, selling vests and sweatpants, and I'm like, bro, what am I doing? Like, I should take this further. Like, I enjoy this, so why not create? And I think there was a period where I just kind of did have the confidence to really even think I could do that. I just thought I'm limited to blanks just because I don't even know. Maybe it was my environment. Maybe it was the kind of like feeling a type of way where it's like if you try to do anything or want to do more, you're gonna be looked at in a weird way. And it was kind of one of the ones when I had to really just like disconnect from a certain part of me and my upbringing and my not upbringing, but like where I've grown up. And I just said to myself, I want to do more. I want to create. Like, I want to build something here. And then I started designing on the iPad, and then it got to a point when I was like, nah, I can't create a t-shirt called Lorel Fits. Like, nothing's gonna bang, bro. Like, if I wanted to run with Lorel Fits, it doesn't seem like a name where I can add any type of depth to what I'm doing, other than just you know what I'm saying, the fits kind of limits me in like a gym kind of thing. And then what can I really do? Just slap logos and everything. So then it occurred to me, it was like, I need to change my name. And it was one of them ones where I remember one of my boys told me, like, I'm gonna have to change my name at some point. And I'll be like, no, it's fine, like, you know, it's cool. But back in my mind, I kind of knew, I was being a bit prideful, but I kind of knew where it was like, to really scale the brand, you have to come up with a name that is not, you can mature with. You're not gonna feel like, oh, what's this? And you have some emotional connection to it, where it kind of just makes it just makes everything easier. Like if you don't have an emotional connection with your brand, you're gonna really struggle in just being creative in an outlet. If you're only in it for the business, then this doesn't really apply to you. But if you're actually trying to do something because you want to be creative, you want to have an outlet, whatever it is, having an emotional connection to it does help, whilst also having a business mind as well. So it was at that point where I just thought I had to change my brand name. So I changed my brand name, changed it to Lost in the Law, thought for a while, and I was like, yeah, this is it. And the reason I picked it was just because of just my life in my 20s and what I've dealt with. And even when I was younger, when I used to play for Tottenham, and the ups and downs and the heartbreaks I've had, and the kind of living life, kind of coasting, not knowing where I kind of reside, not knowing like what's meant for me, thinking I'm kind of living other people's dreams and their visions. And then it just came to me where it was like, I'm in a position right now where I'm designing clothes. I love what I do. Maybe this has all happened for a reason. And I don't like to sit there talking about everything happens for a reason, because that kind of almost justifies where you are and makes you kind of not take accountability for your mistakes. And, you know, we are where we are if we feel that's where we should be. Let me simplify it. Is if you feel this is where you're meant to be based on everything that's happened and you're happy where you are now, then it was meant to be. And I think designing clothes at that point, I wish I started much younger, but I think it kind of made sense. And I've kind of almost built up my confidence quite late. Like I've been a confident person, but I haven't been a confident person. You can be a confident in when you're probably chatting to things and whatnot, having a loud mouth in school, but confidence comes from like not caring what anyone else thinks and kind of pursuing what you want to pursue, and knowing that in your journey you may kind of not become friends with people anymore, and you have to distance yourself, but you're confident in sticking to yourself and your beliefs and what you want to do, and you have like, you know, unwavering resilience, bro. Like nothing will penetrate you. And I feel like that's something I kind of built up over time, and I really got to a point where it's like I'm so deep in the shit now, like I'm just the fucking thinking of quitting my job, I'm doing this, I've already jumped on social media, something I said I'd never do. I said, fuck it, bro. Lost in the Law, rebrand, go all in. This is it. This is life. This is for me. This is what I want to do. And over time, as I've been designing, and I remember starting doing Photoshop, and it really just occurred. And like on Procreate, I was like, bruv, I know if I put the reps in, this is gonna be so easy. And when I say easy, I don't mean easy as in like effortless, but almost easy in like, it just feels so natural. It feels so natural that I can just design something and something will come up and it has meaning, it has depth, and I can relate to it, and it looks good, and you know I can kind of put my own spin on it. I'm not copying. I'm also using my own original ideas, and it just makes sense, bro. And I think that's kind of it's a feeling of like, it kind of gives you that energy, and that just like it's gonna work out, it's gonna make sense. Like I'm gonna do it. And so you need that confidence, because a lot of the time we always have these doubts in it. We'll think we're gonna do well, and then we have that small doubt. Like I do this thing, right? Well, I'll sit there and I'll say I'm going to do something, or I can do something, whatever it is. And then I'll have this fucking thought come in my head and be like, you can't do that. Or, you know, are you sure you're going to do that? Like, what if you flop? Like, and I don't know if you ever do it. It's like a little voice that just comes in your head, and you have to like sometimes talk over it to ignore it, or you have to just fucking just battle each other. And I do this thing where if a negative thought comes into my head, I have to just think positive and positive and positive to almost mute it. I'm literally muting it, and to the point I mute it, and I keep talking, and then I just forget what I was thinking about. Tell me in the comments if you've ever done that. Like, I literally have to do it all the time. And it still happens to this day. Like, this doubt will just come in my head, and I'll just start saying shit, and I'll just be like, I'll just have to say positive stuff. And I'm literally just almost, it's just going and going and going and going. So, yeah, man, I feel like and like, that's why, and graphic tees, I think it's just nice. It's just a nice outlet, bro. Don't get me wrong, I love designing a jacket, a hoodie, a pants, and everything of the sort, but nothing hits like a graphic tee. And now that the graphic tees are so extensive in terms of like the washing, the distressing, the colours, the way you can give things such a old, worn feeling, like that's what the brand's all about. And I think that's kind of my design language. I don't know if I've summarised my design language, but that's kind of what makes it enjoyable for me. So you'll see me put a lot of effort into my graphic tees, and I'm going to try to provide such cool tees that you're just always going to want to wear and put on and buy, and you know what I'm saying? And you can rely on it to kind of like wear it and be like, yo, that tee's cold, where you get that from? oh, that fits nice. Like that's what I'm on, and I put a lot of time and effort into it. So let me show you a little rant there. Let me show you this. It's called In Bloom in Ruin. I have 3 so far. So I got alert. Right now we're really focusing on the washing. The washing is the hardest part, but once me and my manufacturer have it locked in, the washing is going to be a breeze every time we kind of make a tea. But I think because my washing is quite particular, they're still trying to get it patented, and I'm still trying to figure out their terminology on what they say versus what we say. So if, for example, I said acid wash, yeah, what do they call it in China? Because sometimes there's a few things they call it a bit different. So that's just one example. But yeah, let me show you this tea. I think the hardest thing about designing a tea personally for me is not even the design itself, it's the typography. It's what text you use, what style you use, and the colors. That I remember there was one tea, right? Oh, it's called One Way Out. I haven't finished it yet, but it's called One Way Out, and it's still bugging me to this day because I just don't like the typography. But it's called One Way Out, and it is about just you and life and picking what you want to do in your life, basically. So it's like one way out, choose one before it chooses you, kind of thing, where people have this dream and desires and then they don't pursue it, and then almost they're now in this life and this loop, whatever we want to call it, where they're just stuck there, they're coasting NPC style, and they're not pursuing their dreams or their interest because they didn't make a decision. And that's essentially one way out. That came from myself just because of like being in the position where I could have probably gone my whole life kind of ignoring what I kind of wanted to do, type shit, with my time. So I've used the Pally Hollywood blank. This is not my blank, but that is how my blanks are going to be anyway. I say blank like I'm not buying it. Like, this is cut and sew, my measurements. I already have my tees, cut and sew, measurements, fabric, everything. But this tee is just a nice tee because the wash is similar to how I'm going to have mine. And I kind of used this to kind of figure out what color t-shirt would be best suited for the image. Because originally I was trying to create one on a black t-shirt, but I was bare forcing it, and then I realized this just ain't banging. Like, is it the design? Is it the tee? So I played it for different colors, and blue was the color. The design itself, that's not how the original color was. However, I kind of changed it with adjustments and saturation, colorized it, and kind of just found a color which really kind of made it pop against the blue. This is the t-shirt. I'm shooting in D-Log right now, so you might not be able to see the vibrance. You know what? Let me just shoot in color for a bit. Let me see how this does. One sec, chat. Yeah, that's the tee, man. Excited to bring it to life for sure. But hey, that's an idea where you come up with a title, everything else kind of just flows and makes sense once you have a title, once you have a meaning for the brand, and you know what direction you're trying to take any tee or design in. Stuff like that, making something and finding a narrative around it. It's enjoyable. Hopefully you can understand why I enjoy it, because you just create something that you can just has meaning. So that's gonna be a crazy tee when it's done. I'm telling you, like, I ain't chatting shit. Like, when you see it, you'll see it, innit? Just gonna get some new lights for my bedroom because they're just way too warm. Like, they're just way too warm. It's just not practical. It's not doing what I need it to do, kind of thing. What the fuck even is this model? Oh, I don't even know what this model is. Bro, I have no idea how light bulbs work. Found them. So these are neutral white. The ones I have right now, they're way too warm, and I don't like that at all. I already have my lamp, which kind of gives off a warm light, so neutral is better. Thank you. My dad gave me his trade card. Can't even use that bitch, bro. £250 minimum spent. I ain't spent that much. I was just about to go sleep, but then a manufacturer hit me up, and they was telling me that instead of, I was meant to have a set amount of jackets, and due to wastage, I'm gonna lose like 30% of that. So yeah, they said they'll refund me or can put it towards samples, which is annoying because that reduces the amount of quantities I'll have for the next drop. But they apologized and just said because the fabric's new and they're not used to it, there was a lot of wastage because they didn't handle it properly. So it's one of those things, man, which is an inconvenience. I'll probably try and get some compensation. But I guess just get more samples in it. I think that's probably the best move. Just get a load of samples sent in, because I can probably get a better rate if I order a fuckload. That frees up my my cash flow right now, which is cool. I'll catch you guys later.